High in the night sky above a nation's capital, down flashes a shooting megastar on a mission of mercy. Zeroing in on her rooftop helipad, bearing priceless gifts of caring and sharing, she touches down to touch the hearts of her celebrity guests who tremble in anticipation in her luxury penthouse below. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Dame Edna Experience with Dame Edna Everage.
To a quasi-religious experience per se, because it is. People watch my shows religiously. And as my wonderful mother always said, you're nearer to God in a penthouse than anywhere else on earth. She was full of little sayings like that. When I first had this gorgeous apartment, decorated by the wonderful firm of Harrods, my main reason for wanting to be 34 floors up was to keep my husband Norm at bay. Oh, darling, yes, I'm afraid so. You see, Norm had suffered a freak recovery. He'd recovered. He had recovered, but he still looked like a freak, unfortunately. And he was getting very, very nifty on his Zimmer frame. He'd unplug himself at the prostate facility, and he'd thread his way through all the traffic in his pyjamas so that he could come here and penetrate my lower atrium. Downstairs, it's all lined with marble and gorgeous. He always wanted a ramp up here, but I said, Norm, no way. If you wanted to start a ramp to go up 34 flights, you'd have to start about south of the Watford Gap, I should say. For foreign viewers, that's a long way away. This lovely home of mine has only one disadvantage: possums rising damp. I refer, of course, to Madge Allsop. There she is. Madge. There she is, up the stepladder, dusting my David Hockney. She's been up that ladder ever since Tom Jones came to stay here, hoping little Tom would get a glimpse of her gusset. Oh, dear. Varicose vein minx. See what lurks under that surgical hose. She looks like the tattooed lady. Get down, Dad. Get down, darling, please. Take the ladder away with you. You've just been pretending to dust that. Well, also in my guest wing is Gerald Durrell, a delightful old animal fondler. My first guest tonight is a former top model, just like me. A living legend like me. I call her Betty. The world calls her Lauren Bacall. Make yourself comfortable. Thank you. Oh, my darling, isn't this beautiful? The Madge the badge. Thank you, darling. Just put these little identifications on. There we are, my dearest Betty.
Thank you. I wouldn't have known who I was if you hadn't done that.
You know, I want to take you back on a little spiritual journey, back to 1944, when you first came to the consciousness of the world.
Yes.
And with that look, that beautiful Bacall look, I don't know whether I can do it. Little look you had. I'll try. That was it, wasn't it?
Well, almost.
Isn't that spooky?
No, you have to go a little lower with your chin.
Lower?
Yes, and then your eyes go up.
Oh, you can do it too, can you? Oh, of course, it was your look, wasn't it? How did it originate?
Well, it actually originated because I used to be very nervous, which I have been all my life, and I'm still nervous. But I tried to keep my head still, keep it from shaking. And so silly, wasn't it? And so I bent down like that with my head, and I found that by keeping it like that, I stopped shaking, and I looked up, and the director liked it, and Bogart liked it, so...
That was it?
That was it.
Beautiful,
yeah,
because I have a famous look.
Yes.
Women are copying that look. I'd like to see you try my little look. Just pop those on. Pop those glasses.
They're beautiful. It's my colour, too. Think it's too much?
No.
Does it look terrific?
It's beautiful. You're getting applause already with my look.
I think my nose is broken.
Try to do something. Do something with your mouth now. Do an Edna thing. Good, isn't it? That's spooky, Betty. You were married on a farm, am I right?
You are absolutely right.
Was it in the farm or in the farmyard? Outside or inside?
It was inside. It was in Ohio, on a great farm that was owned by a writer named Louis Bromfield, a very famous American writer who became quite a famous American farmer. And Bogey and I were married inside the house.
Oh, I had a vision of you with all the animals watching.
We were photographed outside. Actually, there were 3 boxer dogs in the house when we were married.
Were they witnesses, more or
Of
less?
course. One of them gave me away, actually.
Oh, no. You're delightful, I adore you. Did you have any bridesmaids?
Actually, no.
No bridesmaids.
No, it was very sad.
No, I did. This was Madge. She was my bridesmaid, one of them. She caught my bouquet on the back of the neck. Wiped out an entire nerve centre, I'm afraid. We shouldn't laugh, should we?
He doesn't seem to mind, though.
No. Was your mother at the wedding?
My mother was at the wedding.
Oh, lovely. Did she
And-
fully approve?
Yes. She finally did. She didn't at the beginning, but finally she did. And she and Bogey became fast friends. Because they were contemporaries, you see.
I see. Beautiful mother. I have a wonderful mother, a very strong personality, as I imagine your mother must have been.
Yes.
My mother, well, she was worried because my husband, Norm, wasn't Jewish. That's what worried my mother.
Really?
No. And neither was I. Neither was she. I mean, she was worried that none of us were Jewish. I think that was her.
Preferred, yes.
She would have, but she's recently converted to Judaism. I mean, she thinks she's Jewish. Poor darling. She does. Well, she wanders around a lot, and I persecute her, I'm afraid. Bless her heart. We're both very self-sufficient, aren't we?
Yes, very independent, must be.
You're attractive, resourceful, like me, independent, but sometimes I have to tell you this. I get a bit lonely sitting here. I sit here and I've got everything. Betty, I have everything I need.
I would say you have
it's
quite a bit.
beautiful, and I sometimes...
But it's not enough, is it?
Something missing, and I get a certain despair, a desperation. I think, Edna, you're on the verge of doing something silly, very silly and destructive.
Like what?
Like wandering onto that balcony there and pushing Madge off. I do. I do. I have to tell you.
You'd never jump yourself.
Not me, no, but I saw her there the other night looking at St. Paul's Abbey. There's a beautiful view of it there. And I felt an impulse just to grab her by the ankles like a wheelbarrow and tip her over. See her little body dwindling like a rag doll. I hear the wind whistling through her knickers. That's it. Mind you, it does that without her even falling off the balcony.
Poor Madge.
This'll sound a bit like changing the subject, but you nearly married Frank Sinatra.
Yeah.
Very, very nearly. Now, is it out of place for me to say I'm glad you didn't?
No, I'm glad I didn't. No. I'm very glad that you're glad, because I, too, am glad.
Well, I don't think it would have worked out for a number of reasons. I mean, you would never have been there, darling. You would have been away making a comeback somewhere, wouldn't he?
Well, that he's done quite successfully.
Well, he's done it quite a few times. I mean, you'd have to go away to come back, if you know what I mean.
Yes, right.
You'd ring him up, you'd call him up, you'd say, you know, when are you coming back? He said, I'm making a comeback. Yeah. There's no comeback to that, is there, darling?
No, there isn't. No, you're absolutely
right. And financial insecurity you'd suffer with him.
No. I think financially, I think that aspect of it would have been okay. But I just think that, I mean, in the humor department,
no, but
slight problem.
I would have thought so. I don't know the man at all. But he'd pretend he knew me, but I don't know.
Did he ever sing to you?
He's never sung to me.
Oh, no. You would love that, I think.
Did he do that to you?
Yes, I think that you'd forget a lot of things.
A lot of the time?
Oh, yes. Quite often.
And did he play his albums all the time?
Occasionally.
I've heard of that. Just about 24 hours a day. I am besieged with offers. Toy boys, people have said, why don't you have a toy boy? Sorry.
Doesn't interest you?
Not in the least, and I don't think it interests Betty Bacall.
No, doesn't really. But I'd like one of those.
One of these? Perhaps afterwards, darling. I can clip this on your little frock. I think a woman of a certain age with a ridiculously young man looks frankly ludicrous.
What do you mean by ridiculously young?
Well, I saw Lillian Gish, you know, little Lil?
Yeah.
When I was last in L.A., I saw Lillian on the back of a motorbike with this boy. It was pathetic, really. She was clinging on to him. He must have been, well, he was still wet behind the ears. Well, she'd been licking the back of his head. You know, it's undignified, don't you think?
I guess so, it sounds it.
And then they're always sank and waking up in the middle of the night just wanting a glass of water and eating sweets between meals. You know, when they arrive, well, you get them home and you find the batteries weren't included. Excuse me. Sorry, beg your pardon. Hello?
It's Tom.
Who?
Tom.
Oh, hello, Tom. What are you doing down there, darling?
Well, I'm playing around with this lift.
Oh, well, you shouldn't, darling. Stop playing with the lift. He still thinks he's down a Welsh mine. He does. Look, you've been up and down in my shaft all night. Oh, for heaven's sake! Please, darling, come up. We need you on the show, darling. Stop messing around. The other tenants will be angry. Little Tom Jones, after this break. On my elevator, Betty, tells me that a world superstar has arrived. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Jones! Tom!
Yeah.
Tom Jones! Oh, Tom. I'm sorry, darling.
Well,
You've done that. You've broken that elevator. You're going to have to do the interview like this, I'm afraid. I hope you've been to the bathroom. That's all I want. Tell me, how did you start as a singer? How did your career begin?
let me see. Well, I was born in South Wales, and my father was a coal miner.
Oh.
And my mother used to take me to the corner shop. I would get up on this orange box and sing to the people.
Lovely, how interesting.
In the shop. And then later on, I sang at school, and then when I left school, I started to work in a factory, and I used to sing at night. And then I started singing and working with clubs and pubs, and I was...
I'm sorry. No. It'll never work. It'll never work. I'm going to call the engineer. I'll call the engineer. He'll get that fixed. Remind me to call the engineer, Betty. I must call the engineer. My next guest has been in the kitchen having a nice cup of tea and communing with animal life in there. I hope there's not much. That's a bit behind the fridge. He is a latter-day Mr. Noah, St. Francis of Assisi of this age. Ladies and gentlemen, Gerald Durrell! Durrell. I'll take that from you. Awesome. Oh, the badge, man. The badge. Oh, there we are, Jerry. No. That's an Australian abbreviation of the word Gerald. My frock, we've already spoken about it. Lauren Bacall and I. Do you like my lizard?
Fantastic. Fantastic.
It's an Australian lizard, the Lizard of Oz, you might say. Look. Can you see that, viewers? Isn't that gorgeous? That's a bit Madge-like, sometimes. However, on the subject of fauna, what makes marsupial so special? It's a funny word. What does it mean, marsupial?
Well, it means that they've got a pouch. And the kangaroo, for example, and the wallaby have a pouch. And they are capable of having one baby inside them, one on the teat inside their pouch, and another one leaping in and out of the pouch who's not yet adult, which is pretty extraordinary.
It is. And it's sweet to see them. Have you seen them peeping out of those
Yes, the little joeys.
Darling, little joeys. They're gorgeous, I must say that. Do you think that we humans once had pouches in the old days?
Well, I think we probably develop them as we get older and fatter, like me.
You angel. You are a zoo man, and I see signs when I go to zoos which say don't feed the animals. And perhaps some of those signs should say, don't watch the animals while they're committing acts of immodesty, because they do.
Oh, no. I think that's, if I may say so, I think that's carrying things too far, because in my zoo on the island of Jersey, we get a lot of honeymoon couples who come over, you know, in the early spring, and we watch them walking around the grounds, sort of linked together hand in hand, like daisy chains, and the place where they always linger longest is outside the monkey enclosures. Oh. And I think they're probably learning.
Learning?
It's a learning process, you know.
Watching the monkeys?
Yes.
Well, I remember very well something similar to this happened to me. This is just between ourselves. My husband and I, quite early in our married life, we went on the set of something called Skippy. Now, Skippy was a beautiful Australian miniseries, a bit like Dallas, or didn't it? No, it was very popular, but it mostly had kangaroos in it, because the kangaroo union is very, very strong. And Skippy was the hero, and Norm was off watching the animals. I was talking to the actors. And afterwards, he had such a strange expression in his face after watching little Skippy and his stunt double. And he took me aside and he said, and he whispered to me, he said, do you think later you could do what Skippy does? Well, I didn't know what to do. I mean, we went home that night and I loitered. I did the dishes. He went to bed early, giving me a funny wink. And I had a long hot bath. I felt I didn't, you know. I went into that bedroom, a frightened woman, Betty. A frightened woman. Well, at about 3 o'clock in the morning, I finally did it. I did. I sat up in bed and I went... I did. And the next morning, the next morning, he looked at me, questioning me. I said to him, Norm, I did it, you missed it, and I'll never do it again. That's what I said. But I must say this. I must say that Madge has got a look at the faraway look on her face. Because she's picking up Sky Channel on her teeth. She is. You can. Launching this, my own satellite channel quite soon.
Dame Edna,
Who is it?
You haven't called the engineer yet.
Oh, he's still there. You said you'd remind me. The engineer. Sorry, it's Tom Jones. He's trapped there between floors. Got completely. Hello, is that you, Danny?
She forgot about it.
Danny? Yes, how's the family? Oh, I'm sorry, but it was mercifully quick. I'm glad. Look, darling, yes, life goes on. Yes, your mother well? Look, there is someone trapped in my lift. It's Tom Jones, the crooner. Yes. All right, darling, quick as you can. Bless you. Bye. Goodbye, darling. Goodbye. That was Danny. He was the engineer. I must say... Gerald, Durrell and Lauren Bacall are my guests. You gave me to believe that a spooky gift was exchanged between you and your wife on the occasion of your anniversary. What did you give her, Jezza?
Well, I don't think it's spooky at all. I mean, it's just a normal sort of gift that a husband would give a wife.
Wait till you hear this, Betty.
It was... Well, I mean, it's, you know, perfectly normal. It was 4 tarantulas.
I don't know. You're a mysterious figure. But they are sweet. I suppose they're nice if you're not terrified of them. Was the poison removed? Can they bite you?
Oh, well, the ones I gave her, yes, they were poisonous.
Oh.
Did you have something in mind when you...
What else would you give your wife except poisoned tarantulas?
You know, there's an old saying, say it with spiders, I believe. My brother perished from snake bite. It was awful. I had a younger brother, Laurie, and he died of snake bite, I'm afraid. I remember him coming into the kitchen. I can still remember this, Betty. Came into our kitchen, said he'd been bitten by a 6-foot tiger snake. And my mother got on her knees on the linoleum and tried to suck out the poison. But an hour later, he passed away. She'd been sucking the wrong leg. She had my mother. She never forgave herself for that. What do animals teach us about people, Gerald, Durrell?
Oh, I play my favourite sort of cocktail party game. When I go to a cocktail party, I watch how people behave and then translate it into animal terms, you know, and you see courtship displays, you see the way, for example, a penguin will pick up a pebble and put it in front of its desired mate. Well, you can see a man pick up an ashtray and put it down in front of an adorable creature like yourself in exactly the same way. So you can see all these things. So as you look at humans, you look at animals.
You do, and even I've seen people at cocktail parties scratching themselves, too. You know, in a rather, when they think, no, what is watching, that's when I'm looking at them. Oh, my next guest has arrived. The engineer's done his work. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Jones!
Everything all right?
Oh, beautiful. Lovely. Here you are, Tom. wonderful. Well, now you're liberated.
Yes.
What are you going to do for us?
Well, I've got a new single recording out.
Well, why not sing that for us?
Okay.
Won't that be exciting? Tom Jones!
What did you think I would do at this moment when you're standing before me with tears in your eyes, trying to tell me that you have found you another and you just don't love me no more? What did you think I would say at this moment when I'm faced with the knowledge that you just don't love me? Did you think I would curse you or say things to hurt you? 'Cause you just don't love me no more. Did you think I could hate you or raise my hands to you? Oh, come on, you know me too well. How could I hate you when darling I love you, and you know I'd never hurt you. Ooh, what do you think I would give at this moment? If you'd stay, I'd subtract 20 years from my life. I'd fall down on my knees, kiss the ground that you walk on, if I could just hold you again. Yes, I'd fall down on my knees, kiss the ground that you walk on, if I could just hold you. If I could just hold you again. Spend the rest of my life with you, girl. Now is a moment.
Oh, goodness, that meant a lot to all the women watching.
Yes?
And we'll have a lovely conversation with Tom after this break.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Yes, I see.
I can feel your vibes, Tom Jones. Betty, did you feel just a little tremor there?
Oh, definitely.
I could see you feeling it, Possum. Tom has an effect on all women. You see, Gerald, I'm a scientist in my way. I'm a social anthropologist. And this interview with you, Tom, is objective. You know, I'm not going to allow the sexual element to intrude. It's going to be a serious verbal intercourse that we're going to have. It is. No sexuality at all. I'm going to talk about your career, your lifestyle, without, at the same time, divesting ourselves of our clothes and playing trains and tunnels. Because this is a family. This is for the family that stays up late, this show. What is the most heavily insured part of your body? Please. That's a normal question. Don't twist my words, viewers.
Well, what do you think it would be?
Your vocal cords?
Exactly.
Lovely.
Yes.
Please. Women throw their underwear at you. That's a very famous Tom Jones phenomenon. It's in the history books. How did that start, Tom?
Well, I was singing at the Copacabana in New York in '68, and the ladies were handing me table napkins because it was a supper club.
Yes.
And this one woman wanted to be different. You know, and I was wiping my brow with the table napkins and handing them back. And then this one woman thought she'd, you know, go a step further, or many steps further, and took her underwear off. She just lifted up her dress and, you know, and took the and said, "Here." So I wiped my brow and I said, you know, "But you don't catch cold." It's,
After that, Tom, there was an avalanche, wasn't there, of underwear? There was... You were sort of inundated. There was a kind of Niagara of knickers that enveloped you. Do you ever recycle them? I mean, you could start a stall, couldn't you? In Petticoat Lane, I suppose. I mean, people could come and buy their smalls back from you, couldn't they?
Yeah.
Or do you give them to third world countries?
Well...
Like Nicaragua, I'm a little bit embarrassed because I'm a bit of a global sex therapist, and so are you. I'm embarrassed at the way women behave. They behave very, very badly sometimes, and you would see sometimes the unacceptable face of our sex. Wouldn't he, Betty?
Yes,
behaving
he would.
that way. I've heard women scream. Do you know what they scream out at his shows? "I want your baby. I want to have your baby." Have you heard that?
Oh, do they? No.
Yeah, well,
do they?
How do you handle that?
Yeah. Well,
what do you do?
Yeah.
Do what?
The first time it happened, you know, a woman stood up in the audience and she said, "I want your baby." So I said, "Well, he's right here in the wings." You see, my son was with me. So I said, "If you want him, he's right there."
Did she have him in the end? No, I hope. I mean,
yes, I think he married her. I think.
He married her. Isn't that beautiful? How romantic. Excuse me. Hello? Who is it?
Delivery for Dame Edna.
Oh, I wasn't expecting a delivery. Oh, well, you better come up. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I wasn't expecting you. Take your glasses off, please. And your hat. Jeffrey Archer! Oh, trying to gate crash my show? You tried to do that last week. Never again, Jeffrey. Will you never learn?
Dame Edna, I've got so much to tell you.
Okay, go away. Put it all in your next bestseller. So, now, I can remember. Tom, I can remember your very first big hit. What person watching or in the world doesn't remember that? And I have a confession to make to you. I went to a concert expecting Well, I thought it was an Engelbert Humperdinck concert, I'm afraid. You've got to forgive me, Tom. But in those days, viewers, Engelbert really turned me on. Those platform souls. He really rang my bells and pushed my buttons, Betty. He got my juices going. He really aroused my appetite. You know why he aroused my appetite?
No.
He reminded me of a waiter. He did. He did. I could see him with a little towel over his arm and one of those great big pepper grinders, you know? But you don't need one of those, do you? No, please. You don't... No. They're twisting my words again, Betty.
No.
No, you've got your own inbuilt props. You're perfect. I wouldn't change you. But you've had a little bit of a go at yourself, Tom. It's no secret that you've allowed, in a small way, the cosmetic surgeon's scalpel to touch that lovely face of yours, haven't you?
Yes. Well, I had my nose fixed because it had to be fixed because, you know, growing up where I grew up in South Wales, when I was a teenager, you know, we would get into fights, and my nose was broken several times. So...
It was a medical necessity that you had something done about it, Tom.
Well, yes. But it looks a lot better, though.
Betty and I have resisted this very, very strongly. These are our faces that you see, possums, and we're very, very proud of them. Very proud, and all we have is a little bit of maintenance, you know. I mean,
A lot.
a little bit of a tile fixed up or a little bit of guttering replaced. This is the woman who has had more cosmetics... Look. She's had more operations than all the episodes of MASH put together, this woman. But, you know, I feel sorry for her. You know, that's not her face, Betty. That is not Madge's face.
You mean she chose that face?
She made a very, very bad choice, Betty, I'm afraid. Well put, and put with wonderful compassion, if I may say. Madge chose that face, but I've chosen another one for her. And as a special humanitarian gesture for Christmas, I'm popping her into a clinic. So next week, we'll undo the bandages. She'll go. No, Madge, you'll be very happy. You know. Well, call me old-fashioned, but I care about people. Sometimes I think I care too much. But that's friendship, I suppose. That spooky old thing that makes the wheels of the world go round. I feel a song coming. If you're ever in a jam, here I am.
If you ever need a pal, I'm your gal.
If you ever feel so happy you land in jail, I'm your bail.
It's friendship, friendship. That's the perfect friendship. When all the friendships have been forgot, ours will still be hot. Laddle, ding, ding, ding.
If you ever lose your all, call Bacall.
If you ever break your bones, call for Jones.
If you ever take a boat and get lost at sea, write to me.
Friendship, friendship, that's the perfect friendship.
When all the friendships have been forget, ours will still be good. Laddle, chop, chop, chop.
If you're ever down a well, ring my bell.
If you ever catch on fire, send a wire.
If you ever lose your teeth when you're out to dine,
Borrow mine.
when all the friendships seem to go, ours will still be slow. Laddle, chop, chop, chop.
La la la, chop chop chop.